everyone and welcome to my channel. So Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, has finally hit Netflix after taking a hiatus. If you don't remember, Glass Onion premiered only in theaters around Thanksgiving. But here's the catch, it was only in theaters for just a week. So you only had a week to watch it in the theaters. Then it took a month break and now it's on Netflix. And I heard a lot of people that got the chance to watch it in the theater saying you have to watch it on the big screen. This is a movie, sounding like hairstyles describing the word darling, remember? But anyway, they're saying that it was such a cinematic experience from, the production design, the set design, the costumes, the acting. Like, this is a real movie and not a streaming movie. Do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you watch trailers or see a movie that you're like, this is going to go straight to streaming. I could watch this at home. And then there's some movies that you're like, I have to watch this on the biggest screen possible. I watch it at home, but I watch it in a pretty big screen and it was fantastic. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. When I watched the first Knives Out, I thought, okay, so this is going to be like an Agatha Christie type of murder mystery, which I love because I'm a big Agatha Christie fan. Me and my sister used to read all of her books. When I started Glass Onion and that opening scene where they're trying to open this box and there's all these puzzles and you see, each character on their own little scenario, I thought this is going to be great. Within 8 minutes of the movie, I'm loving it. We got so much humor from just that opening scene. First of all, we got Jackie Hoffman, the wonderful Jackie Hoffman, who's playing Dave Bautista's mom, and he's trying to solve all these puzzles, and she keeps solving it for him. She's like, that's I can't remember what she says, like, that's a puzzle, and he's like, Mom, and she's like, that's this and this and that, and he's like, Mom. That was hilarious. And then Kate Hudson, who was so funny in this movie. I have plenty of her lines that I laughed out loud just on the opening of the box. She's throwing a party during COVID, and somebody points out, you're throwing a party right now? She's like, it's okay, they're all in my pod. And then she's like, it's tic-tac-toe, it's tic-tac-toe. And then she's trying to Shazam the song. I mean, her mom, Goldie Hawn, who's a wonderful comedic actress, must be so proud of Kate Hudson. It's hard not to compare the first Knives Out with Glass Onion. I thought the first one had more twists and turns at the end. Glass Onion felt a bit more predictable for me. As soon as Andy is having that one-on-one meeting with Miles, and they're discussing, this energy thing that he invented, and it's actually really dangerous, and she says, I'm out, out of Alpha. By the way, Alpha, their company, what does it do? What is it? I never got the feelings can you explain to me what Alpha does? But anyway, so they're having that conversation. She says, I'm out, I can't let you do this or use this, this energy. And he's like, what? What do you mean? I knew that either, he was going to kill her or she was going to kill him. It looked like they had a vendetta against each other. And they did, because he kind of social networks her, kicks her out of the company. She takes him to court, tried to sue him, loses because all their close friends, they lie under oath to protect him, who's the rich guy. So at that moment, I kind of knew who the killer was going to be. I just didn't know who was going to die. I thought the mystery was too obvious and simple. But one thing that you can say about Glass Onion is that this movie is about the journey, not the destination. But even though you can figure out who did it right off the bat, the beauty of Knives Out, the franchise, is it a franchise now or an anthology? But the beauty of Knives Out is that there's so much layers to it, that what happened, but how did it happen? Let's talk about that twin twist mid-movie, because we found out that Andy has a twin sister called Helen, who goes to Benoit Blanc, who's played by Daniel Craig, you know, the world's best detective, to help her find out who killed her sister. When they brought up the twin, I admit I was put off by it. I dislike very much when writers they kill off a character and people are like, oh my gosh, why'd you kill them? And then they bring up the character as a twin. And I don't know, I feel like it's so lazy. It's almost like when you experience something in a movie or a TV series and then it's all a dream. They're like, psyched, it was all a dream. It's like, oh, it drives me crazy. But I love Janelle Monáe. So I was like, okay, I got two of her. Great, I'll take it. And then I was thinking, okay, did Andy fake her own death? Because then I was thinking, okay, Andy died. And then her sister Helen wants to, you know, get infiltrated into Miles', you know, crazy party to find out what happened to her sister. But I was like, is that really Helen? Or is this Andy pretending to be Helen? I wonder if that's going to be another, you know, twist at the end. I thought it was so stupid that Andy will email all her friends that, you know, lie to protect Miles. She emailed them the envelope that contained the napkin proving that she's the one that invented the alpha thing. Why would you email them the one proof that, you know, I was like, take it to a lawyer, take it to the judge, take it to the cops. You're asking to be murdered, Andy. I'm gonna go a little bit off the trail here because it just popped to my mind and I don't want to forget. Hugh Grant's cameo as Blanc's lover / partner, right? I don't think there was something left in the air. I think we can all assume that is his partner. The moment Hugh Grant opened the door and I saw him, my smile went from here to here. Like I was giggling. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I hope on the next one, because we will have a third, maybe a fourth and a fifth. I'll get to it because Rian Johnson has a deal on Netflix. But I hope on the next one, we'll see more of Hugh Grant's relationship with Daniel Craig, because I think that would be such a great couple. Daniel Craig, amazing here once again. I think people will find it weird that on the first Knives Out, Blanc was a lot more reserved, and here he's more like animated and cartoony. But I think they done that on purpose. I think it's because, you know, he made that point that he was in lockdown and that was affecting him. He's like, you know, my mind is a train and then there's nowhere to go. And the fact that he was invited to go solve a mystery, you could tell how eager and excited and even giddy he was to, you know, to go out, you know, back out in the world. Like I thought it was hilarious, that scene where they're at the dinner table and Blanc immediately figures out the fake murder that Edward Norton had set it up for him. He's like, okay, it was Birdie because the blood diamond, and then she gets the sparrow and this and this and that, and he was almost like, yay, I solved it. And how disappointed Miles was, because he even mentions that he got Gillian Flynn, you know, the lady that wrote she wrote Gone Girl, Sharp Object, so she's very she writes all these novels about, you know, murder mysteries. So the fact that he made that little cultural reference about her writing his fake death, and he was so bummed about it. Speaking of cultural references, there's so many in this movie. Like Kate Hudson, let's go back to her because I think she stole the show in this movie. She was so funny, and I don't think I've seen her this funny since what, like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? Remember? Benny, boo boo, boo 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 boo. She had the best lines and also the best delivery too, because an actor can get, you know, the greatest lines in the world, but if they don't know how to deliver, it can fall flat. When she genuinely thinks that a sweatshop, it's where they make sweatpants, I was like, oh, Birdie. Because the script was so well written and Kate Hudson acted so well, it was just like, There is a lot of social commentary too, you know, from the 1% the billionaires club, to the people that are around the rich. They will lie to protect them because they benefit from the rich. I think we can all agree that, Edward Norton's Miles, it's kind of a spoof of Elon Musk, maybe mixed with the Jeff Bezos. But I thought it was funny that line that Blanc says to Miles says, "You're just dumb. You just ride on the cocktails of inventors and the people that work for you." I was like, little stab in the heart right there. Ed Norton as Miles, he was okay, but I don't know. I got the feeling that I've seen him in this role before. So I felt like he was a bit of one note here. Ethan Hawke, who I love, had a little cameo at the beginning, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting for him to reappear. Maybe he had like some evil plan with Miles. Maybe they were in it together, but no, it was just a quick short cameo. Leslie Odom Jr., when I saw him at the beginning of the movie having that Zoom conference with either investors or doctors, I hardly recognized him. And I was like, oh, that's Odom Jr. Oh my gosh, he's going to be great. I can't wait to see what he does here. So underused. Unfortunately, he doesn't have much to do. Janelle Monáe, who's basically supposed to be the star of this movie, I love her as an actress, but I thought her character, both of them, I don't know, there were so many holes in their story. Okay, you have an estranged twin, but you know so much about her life, what she did for work, all her friends, and no one who was part of that Glass Onion gang, group of friends, knew she had a twin. And then when she's throwing that tantrum at the end, breaking everything in sight, I thought it was weird that no one said anything. And I get they were still trying to protect Miles, but at that point, I was like, hey, the man killed basically 3 people, because he killed Duke, he killed Andy, and he tried to kill Helen. And you're all just standing around there? I mean, at one point they started like breaking stuff, but it took a while for them to like, hey, let's step it up. I did not see how this group of people were friends. I don't know. It didn't seem to me like they would click at all in real life. They didn't have anything in common. Even Catherine Hahn's, her character, she's a governor, and she seems like very progressive. And then Duke, he's like this, man's rights activist / YouTuber. I don't know. I didn't seem like they would all click. I did like how well Helen and Blanc work together. And I wonder if they're trying to set up Janelle Monáe's character for the third one. Like they're going to try to make her the Watson of Blanc, because like I said, Rian Johnson has a deal on Netflix for, I want to say 3 more Knives Out. For sure there's a third one. Once we found out that Miles was the mastermind, we see everything played in flashbacks, which is basically, they're explaining to the audience everything that happened, which I didn't mind, because on the first Knives Out they did that too. They show some of the things in flashbacks, like Ransom going up and down the stairs and all of that. So the flashbacks I didn't mind. But when Helen starts throwing, that tantrum, breaking every glass sculpture in the room, I thought we spent too much time on that. At one point I was like, okay, I see. Break 1, break 2, maybe break 3, but it dragged a bit for me. I was like, break 1, break 2, then go straight to the Mona Lisa. It is hard to say which movie I like better. I liked the story on the first one better, but then I thought the second one was funnier. I'll have to watch Glass Onion again to make my final decision. So these were my thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery? Did you like the first one better? Did you like the second one? Were you able to figure out who the murderer or who got murdered right off the bat. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so sound off. And if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the little bell, the notification button, so you don't miss any future videos. And I'll see you next time.